Hey guys, it's Kahlil here again and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another tabletop book haul. I did one of these a couple of months ago and I decided to do another one because I accumulated some books and some art supplies that I think you might enjoy seeing, and I did it in this format because, well, let's face it, it's a lot easier to film, and also my table's pretty cool and I really like how it looks, and I can show you the books and the supplies a lot better from this angle rather than having it like face to face and me showing you in the air. So yeah, let's just get into it. I have accumulated quite a few books for the last, I think, 3 or 5 months. I also did an Amazon order with some art supplies or office supplies, and I just wanted to show you guys and maybe give you ideas of what to read next, or some art supplies maybe that you haven't seen or would like to hear my opinion on. So let's just get into it. I think I'm gonna keep it with just one hand. It's gonna be weird, but my other hand has a bunch of bracelets on them and my microphone catches absolutely every sound. So let's just pretend that I only have this hand. Now in the summer, I went to a book fair with my mom and I bought quite a few books. A few of them I've already talked about on my channel because I did a try a chapter before you buy type of video where I would read the first couple of pages of a book before I decide whether I like it enough to buy it. So this first one is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. You've probably seen this all over BookTube, but I read the first, I think, 20 or 30 pages and I really liked the way that it was written, and I really loved the story, at least as far as I got, and I decided to buy it. So this is it. I like the cover very much. It's very graphic and it's basically a type of first contact with aliens. You have this blogger, I think, that she is also a graphic designer, and she goes out and films this weird statue that has appeared all over the city, thinking that it's some kind of art project. But later on it turns out that it is a alien, I think, or a robot alien, I don't know, something along those lines. And she actually becomes very famous because of the fact that she was the very first person to ever film one of these aliens. That's basically all I know about the book. I've heard a lot about it. I liked the first like 40 pages that I read, so I bought it. I haven't read it yet, but I will soon, and I'll let you know more of my thoughts and feelings for it. The next one I got is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. Again, this is in Bulgarian. I started listening to this on my audiobook app, but unfortunately, I guess due to copyright strikes or something, they had to remove it. So I had listened to again maybe like 10-15% and I was enjoying it, but then after they removed it, I really wanted to figure out what's going on, what goes on in the rest of the book, so I decided to buy it because it was just translated and released here on the Bulgarian market. That happened a couple of months ago. Still haven't read it and still haven't gotten to it, so I really hope I do soon-ish. But yeah, basically this is a book about, this tells a story of a world where every violent and aggressive deed that somebody does or something bad that they do turns into a living, breathing monster. And in this book you follow, I think, one human and one monster, something along those lines. I'm really not very clear on the premise of the book, but it sounded very interesting, and as I said, I enjoyed the first like 30-50 pages that I listened to from it, so I really think that I'm going to enjoy it and I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. The next 2 books I got are actually part of a series, and they are Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning by Amie, Kaufman, and Kristoff. As you can see, I am already some pages into Aurora Rising, and I read again a few pages from this one when it came out in Bulgarian. The publisher actually releases the first 30 or 40 pages of the books they publish, so you can read them online. So that was really handy, and this was one of those books like An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, where in a video I tried the couple of pages or chapters from all of the books, and this one is also one I decided to buy because I really wanted to figure out how it progresses. And I am currently reading it. As you can see, I'm not very far into it, but I really am enjoying it, and I just love the covers. I noticed that when I bought this one had just came out in Bulgarian, so I just decided to get them as a set. And yeah, I really love them, and I am really enjoying the story so far. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to show you my new bookmark, because it's really cute. It's got like a little moon, pixelated moon or stylized moon, and in Bulgarian it says "You fell asleep here." So I thought that was really cute, and yeah, I have been falling asleep here for a couple of nights now, so hopefully I'll stay awake and read some more these days. The next book I have is a weird one, but at this point on my channel there's always weird books. I heard about this one from my boyfriend. It's called The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran, I think. I'm sorry. And it's a poetry book, I think, or it's written in prose, and it's very philosophical. It's, I think, about life and the soul and things like that. I'm not exactly sure. It's very short. Like I said, it's a poetry one. It's a fairly old one, but it sounded very interesting when he was describing it to me, and he's not really into the spirituality and the spiritual things, and he still really loved this book, so I really wanted to give it a shot. So I found it on Amazon and I decided to buy it. So stay tuned to hear my opinion about it. The next one is another weirder book, and it's Man in Search of Higher Meaning, I think in English it's pronounced, by Viktor Frankl. And this is again a very philosophical book. And I am such an idiot. I'm going to tell you a story that's gonna make me look really bad, but I wanted to read this book, and I found it on my audio library, and it has an audiobook, but I thought that it would be a lot easier to consume as a physical format because it is very philosophical, and I wanted to give it a fair chance, at least my brain a fair chance. And I was rummaging through some books at this bookstore, and I found this, and I didn't even notice that it had this little part here, which I'm guessing is the higher meaning. And the one I actually wanted to read and get was Man in Search of Meaning, without like this part. But I was so excited to actually see it and come upon it that I didn't even notice that. So I got this one, and I realized that when I got home. And I don't know if it's like a second book or if it is kind of like a spin-off, maybe like a lecture where he talks about the other one. But that's why I haven't read it yet. I really wanted to read the first one. I don't know how connected they are. I don't know if I need to read the first one so I can enjoy this one. I don't know. But I am happy to have it in my collection, but I am looking for the first one as well. So if you've read the first one or this one or both of them, please let me know in the comment section down below what is the difference, because from what I read, I think this is more like he tells like a lecture to some people, and this is the analysis of that lecture that has him talking about the first book, but not exactly. I don't know. It's so confusing. But this is the one I wanted. As you can see, the cover is practically the same, so it's kind of obvious why I got mistaken. But again, I should have just read the title to begin with. I am an idiot, and this is entirely my fault. The next book that I have is, again, me being an idiot, because it's not the book I actually wanted to order, but this one came from Amazon, and I got it. I actually wanted to buy a book of poetry that had a very similar cover, but for some reason I accidentally bought this one, which was also in my wish list. So again, me being an idiot, but I still wanted this book at some point, so I am glad that I got it. And it's called The Binding by Bridget Collins, and it's about a boy that works in, it's like a fantasy world. So this boy works at a book binding place, and he has the ability to extract memories from people and bind them into books. And once if people experience some kind of tragic event or something that they want to forget or a secret that they want to keep, they go to bookbinders, and those bookbinders extract that memory and they put it in a book and they bind the book. So the people lose that memory, but it's kept safely in a book. And one day, as he's rummaging through the old books that he's binded over the years, he finds a book with his name on it. So I thought it was an incredibly interesting premise. I love books about memories and books and libraries, and I also love the idea of what memories are worth keeping even if they're hurtful. I think that there's going to be something along those lines in this book, so I am glad that I bought it. It's just not what I actually initially went on to buy, but still very happy. And also it's a very beautiful, I don't know if we can tell on camera, but it's matte and it has gold leaves. It's just so beautiful, quite chunky too, so I do hope I don't get scared away and I read it soon. The last book that I have is actually a graphic novel, and it is Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. I'm really sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong, which I probably did. I have been hearing Book Rose talk about this graphic novel for quite some time now, and she really loves it. I wanted to give it a shot. It's a sci-fi graphic novel. I really don't know what the story is about. I think this boy is a robot, and I think maybe like humanity has died off and the robots had rebelled and killed humanity, something along those lines. I'm not sure, but I love the art style and the story. The way she told it also sounded very interesting. And it's very interesting because when it comes to sci-fi graphic novels, you don't usually see them drawn in, I think this is watercolor and pencil. At least it definitely has that look to it, so you don't usually see that when it comes to sci-fi. And there's even like explosions and stuff that are doing, ooh, that's bloody. So there's even like explosions and space fights that are done just beautifully. And yeah, it's not something I see very often, but I think it's really, really beautiful. And I really can't wait to give it a read and tell you what I think. The last book that I'm going to show you is actually a weird one again, and it is a Graffiti of Cats. And this is basically a small book that is a collection of postcards by a author called Nasimo, and he is actually a street artist, and he is, I think he's Bulgarian, I'm pretty sure he's Bulgarian. He is amazing. I have seen a lot of his work around town. I think his art style is just phenomenal. And this is, I think, a very old one. It's from 2011, I'm sorry. And it is a postcard collection of cats drawn in his style. And also, each cat has a letter on it, which is, I guess, the point of the book. I don't know, it's like an A to Z to cats. And these are just amazing. Even the sketches, I love his sketch work. His new book is actually, I think, like a sketchbook. It consists of all his sketches, and I really want to get my hands on them, but I guess it will be at some other point when I get some more cash. But yeah, these are his art styles, and each cat is a different letter. This one is my favorite because it looks so much like my own cat, and I just love it. And yeah, he's a really, really amazing artist. I, again, love his work, and I'm really, really glad that I have at least something to look at his art. And it has cats on it, so it's practically screams me. I love cats. I am such a huge cat person. But yeah, of course I'm not gonna use them as postcards because people don't deserve that. These are too special and they're supposed to be just for me. But I have displayed it and I love looking at it from time to time. So yeah. The next thing I have is the first of the art supplies that I'm going to show you, and it is a pearlescent metallic duochrome paint. And I don't even know why I got it. I don't know why I'm showing you this. I don't use paints all that much, but I just thought it was very, very beautiful. I don't know if it's gonna catch on camera, but it's pink with blue reflects, and it's just gorgeous, and I really hope I use it sometime in the future. Next up, I have a couple of white pens. These ones I got because they were a new to me brand. It's the Central Pen White Permanent Markers. This one is a fat bullet nib, and this one is a thin bullet nib. But even though they're both very different in size, they work practically the same way, because you can get some very thick lines with these, but you can also get quite thin ones, which I'm really happy about. So you do get some variation, and also they do I think they appear on the page very well. They're just very bright and bold, and I think that's really good. Yeah, see, you can get some very thin lines. I think it's because the bullet nib is very hard, so it lets you be very light-handed, and you can achieve very thin strokes. But they turn out on the page very well as well. I am really surprised with how well they work. I was not expecting it, but yeah, I am constantly in search of white gel pens that work well, because I have not had the best experience. So I'm really happy with these ones. I hope I get some use out of them. Next ones I'm gonna show you is again some white gel pens, because I just wanted to try these ones out as well. These are the Jelly Roll, the Sakura Jelly Roll White Bright pens in 5, 8, and 10. And these are a staple here on YouTube. Everybody uses them. So I've had some jelly rolls, but not the white ones. I had some metallic ones and some glittery ones, and I remember really loving them as a kid. These white ones, we'll see how it goes, because you know, when it's a staple, you don't really know if you're gonna like it as much as everybody else does. Like with the Posca pens, I'm not the biggest fan of those, and everybody here loves them. So I am hoping that these will at least come in handy. Like I said, I have the 5, 8, and 10, which are 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5 millimeter nib. Next up, I have these metallic pens, and I'm sorry I can't really tell you what the brand is because it's all in Chinese. But I will link them in the description bar down below, or try to link as much as I can in the description box down below. These are metallic, and they are brush pens as well. I got them so that I could do some interesting work with my bullet journals, and I thought it would be really cool. I already tried them out. I am really a fan of the colors, especially the silver one. The silver one is so beautiful, and it comes so bright and so sparkly. I am not a fan of the nib itself, because I don't know if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you. It's a little bit frail, and I think it's kind of, I don't want to say bad quality, but it's not the best quality, I don't think. And it seems like something that would break almost immediately when I start working on it with it. So I am really nervous to work with them more, but I'll give them a shot. And you know, they weren't that expensive, I don't think. So yeah, the cap does not go on top, which is really disappointing. But yeah, so I'm gonna try them on screen now so I can show you. The silver one, this one that I'm trying out right now, is my favorite, and I just love it. It's so sparkly. I love it, and it's the most sparkly of all, which is great because when I use sparkly or metallic pens, gold and silver are usually the ones I gravitate towards, so that's really good. This second one is, I think, like the red or something. They don't have colors on them, but the brand is STA, I think, metallic brush pens. And this second one, I love the color. It's not as sparkly, but I really like the tone of it. I think it's supposed to be red, but it looks very burgundy, and I just love it. These are very juicy, and I think they need some getting used to, just because if you push on too hard, the glitteriness stays in one corner and then the rest is kind of matte, I guess, or just colored. So you need, I guess, some practice with them. But I have not used them yet. I'm thinking I might use one or two in my next bullet journal spread, but I guess we'll see. So if you are looking for some of these, I think if you do calligraphy, these will be gorgeous to work with. I don't do calligraphy very well, but I guess I can try just a little bit one. I don't even know what that is. I guess I'll do an M because I'm kind of okay with doing M's. So yeah, if you do calligraphy, I think these will be very good for you, very handy, and very beautiful. This one I'm very disappointed in because I think it's supposed to be the gold one, but it's so not sparkly and it looks very like, I don't know, dirty gold. It's not very gold. I'm not really happy with it. But the copper one is a really beautiful color and it's very sparkly, so I am happy with that one. That's this one. At least I think it's copper. I call it copper. The black one is the least sparkly of all, but I guess that's normal because, you know, it's black, so there's no real way for it to be black and really sparkly at the same time. And the white one is just basically non-existent, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the point of it is, but I'm sure, I don't know, it has some use. So yeah, these are the colors. I hope you can see on camera how sparkly they are. I'm gonna try and show you. Hopefully you can see. But yeah, I am quite happy and I am really excited to use them and try them in my bullet journal. Next thing I got are these wire paper clips. Or are they clips? They're just clips, they're not paper clips. I thought they were really beautiful, and frankly I wanted ones because I have these ones from my childhood. They're kind of small. I wanted bigger ones, which these technically are, but somehow I thought they were bigger. But yeah, I use them for art or just keeping my bullet journal down, so they come in handy. And also they're very pretty and they can end up in some pictures without it being too juvenile, I guess, because the other ones kind of look weird in pictures. The next rose gold thing I got are these zebra pens, and these are very normal standard pens. Here's just a normal notebook, and this is what they look like. They glide on super well, and they're very black, and I'm really happy with them. I don't think they add those random blobs of ink, which I really hate pens that do that. But I have to work with them a little bit more so I can figure that out. But they're just standard, they're black, and I really like them. I love the color. Next thing I got is, let's try not to be scared. I'm gonna open it now. Don't be afraid. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a portable reflector, and I got it, I found it, I think, at a very reasonable price, and it has like 3 sides. It has the silver one, a gold one, and I think like a matte white one, and it also has this diffuser part, which I'm really happy about. And I think you just like pick a side and just use the side that you need. It's very crunched up, and I'm really wondering how I'm supposed to kind of iron it out. I don't know how to do that. It gets crunched up because it turns into the small little pouch, but can I iron it out? Because I feel like it's gonna create some weird shapes of the lights. So if anybody has used anything like this, do let me know. I got it because I work backlit mostly, so when I take pictures of my art or stuff, I usually have a very overexposed background, so I wanted something to kind of reflect the light, so that's why I got this. I also think it will come in handy in some pictures that I take or photography. Oopsie! The next weirder thing that I got are these pipettes, and I typically use them for my watercolors. I get some water, I just make it on my palette. I make little drops of water on my palette and I reactivate my watercolors. So these are very handy. I wanted just 1 or 2, but Amazon doesn't sell 1 or 2, so I got 10, a pack of 10. I already gave a few away to people who might use them, but yeah, now I have like 7 pipettes left. So yeah, they're pretty big. I think they're sturdy, high quality, I guess, as far as the pipette goes. So if you're looking for some and you need like a pack of 10, I'll link them in the description bar down below. And the last thing I think that I have to show you is this Moleskine journal, and I got the dotted paper one. I was really deliberating because these are so expensive. I was really deliberating whether I should get the sketchbook or the journal, because I am in need of a new bullet journal and I want to start my 2021 in a more high quality journal, just because I love mine, but the paper is so bad that it doesn't handle any kind of pen or marker on it. And I don't even mean like Copic markers, I mean like regular normal markers. It just bunches up and it's a whole thing. So I wanted something a little more high quality, and I know that people here on YouTube really love these ones. So I decided to give them a shot, and I got the dotted paper because it's easier to bullet journal with dotted paper. So I guess you'll see my new spreads for the new year and this baby. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this Ingo and this tabletop style haul. And let me know if anything that I showed you today sparked your interest in terms of books or art supplies. If there's anything you want to see on my channel again, or if you want to know my opinion about some of the things that I tried. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like what you see and would like to see more. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.